Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome in to another episode of the After Parties Me, the Jury segment. I am Tam, your host, not your lawyer, but your nosy best friend, and this is where you come to get all of your courtroom tea served piping hot. Thank you so much for joining me this morning as we continue to go through the Karen Reed trial, Sidebars, trial 1. We are going to be discussing and covering day 5 and 6 today. So thank you guys for joining me and tapping right in. This video is an hour and a half long. So buckle up. We're going to be here for a little while. Click that like on your way in and let's jump right in.
The jury before the Honorable Evelyn Cannoni, Justice of the Superior Court, holding in Dedham within and for the County of Norfolk. Draw near, give your attendance, and you shall be heard. God save the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. This court is in session. Please be seated.
It was a unique scene. There was snow. I had never processed a scene in the snow. I had seen a leaf blower used in the snow, and it's quite effective at being controlled. So that's why it was readily accessible. The scene was debilitating as we were on scene with the weather. Snow was piling up, and I thought that was the best method at that time.
And prior to the arrival of Sergeant Good back to the scene with the leaf blower, what, if anything else, was done to sort of document the scene at that time?
In addition to photographs, what we did was, I wasn't sure how the roadway ended. I wasn't sure if there was a sidewalk, a curb, a berm, or whether it was just grass. So Sergeant Lank and I dug out what I believe is called a 6-inch Cape Cod asphalt berm, exposed it so we could get a better perspective of how far Mr. O'Keefe might have been off the roadway.
Psst, Amazon seller. Everyone by some brands actually profit from
starting off real
Amazon
early
BBC,
with the
while others are
commercial.
May I approach the witness?
Yes.
Direct your attention what's currently marked as Exhibit 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23. Please review those yourself and look up on the page.
Okay.
Your Honor, may we approach this briefly?
Sure. Sidebar.
Your Honor, what I'd like to do, just to make Ms. Gilman's life a little bit easier, is if I could publish them to the jury, referring to the numbers that are currently on them, and then have them marked as the next subsequent exhibits.
All right. So you want to publish them first, and then we will mark them?
Just so I can refer to them as exhibit.
Is there any objection to doing that?
No.
Can we all stay here for a second? FTR is down right now. The official court reporter obviously is here. Tori and I are working on FTR, but it's not recording as of right this second.
Okay.
You can see that the clock is frozen.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was the clerk on the top corner. It shows who's speaking during the sidebar.
Mr. Lally, hold on for a second.
I'll see counsel again at sidebar on this issue.
Sidebar 2.
Do you need to call them anything for Ms. Gilman? Can you just go over there and... Madam Court Reporter is concerned that the record is going to say whatever you just call them, and then we are going to...
Okay.
I agree with her. I think it will be confusing.
Okay. Yes.
So just take a minute and go point out which ones she has to put up or something.
Sure. I can do that. Yes. Whatever works best.
Thank you.
Yes. Jurors, I had told you before how important it is that our record is clear, and that's why I'm sort of making this take longer than it would otherwise. So,
Is that why?
Now, with reference to the
Long time.
implementation of the leaf blower, was that memorialized in any way as well?
Yes, I had Sergeant Good take a video since we were improvising using something I wasn't familiar with being used before. In case there were any questions on how it was deployed, I had Sergeant Good take a short video.
And there's sort of several different short video clips of that process. Is that fair to say?
There's at least.
They used a leaf blower to remove the snow because they had never processed a scene in the snow, and they absolutely had no idea what they were doing. That's what he's explaining right now.
One that I know of.
May I approach?
yes.
Coach Sherman, you recognize that?
I don't recognize it. I haven't seen this disc before.
You don't recognize. May we approach sidebar number 3?
I can tell the court that the disc contains the videos we were just talking about. I would like to have it marked as an exhibit before I play it for the witness, who can authenticate it because he sent it. If there is any issue with that,
no. From a procedural standpoint, I don't care. I just want to make sure I understand that the disc contains the 2 videos.
I think it's more than 2.
You think it's more than 2?
Well, they're broken up into, it's all sort of the same footage, but it's broken up into
small snippets.
Yes.
I don't have any problem with it.
All right. While we are on exhibits, he testified to the first photograph being photo number 20, and 20 is Becker's report from the other day. So, did you inadvertently give him what had been previously marked 20 in that pile just now without any sticker on it? Because these photos...
I may have.
I have it. We started at 21. Is that right, Tori? So if there is one in there with a sticker on it, that's 20. Yes, were removed. He indicated what all the others were.
Okay.
He said there were 2 of them. So it's probably one of these anyway. It's probably a duplicate. If you all want to look at that at a break and figure that out, you need to do that.
Okay.
So you can go ahead and put that in.
Okay.
Some moms want to build income from home. They just don't want to post, pitch, or be online all the time.
Okay.
220s.
Thank you.
My deepest apologies, Your Honor. May we approach this briefly?
Okay. Jurors, feel free to stay.
I feel like this is sidebar 10 already. This is what we're up to, number 4 already. I just started the
I believe
video.
what happened was Madam Court reporter inadvertently marked the first photograph in the set today as 20. So now we have 2 20s. So before we go on.
No, she did not. That has 429. That is yours.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This is where we started today in marking them. That's probably a duplicate.
I think you said we had 13, but we actually marked, that might just be the last one.
I just don't want to keep marking exhibits and further compound the problem. That's the only reason I asked to.
These all have today's dates on them. That was pre-marked by you as 20. So you can...
Do we already have a 20?
We do have a 20. It's Becker's report.
Could we amend this to be the last sequential order exhibit?
How about we do it as 20A
Good morning,
because
Vic.
he has referenced it as 20.
Okay.
At least it will have that number that corresponded with what the jurors saw. Okay? Is there an objection to that?
No.
We will do that. Hand that to Madam Court Reporter to be marked.
They seem disorganized with this witness.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, may I publish what's now been marked as Exhibit 30?
20A.
The last exhibit is this. If I could publish that exhibit.
Yes.
Turning your attention to, well, one on scene that day with Trooper Proctor and the crash reconstructionist, what, if anything, did you observe them to be doing that day?
I believe they were discussing, they were trying to place a drone up in the air, I believe, to map out the area.
Objection.
Did you see that? Or do you want me to strike the, I believe they were trying to?
That'd be out of
All right, so that will be stricken, but your observation will remain.
Now, with reference, if I could draw your attention to February 4th of 2022, were you working that day?
I wasn't.
And at some point, did you receive a call in regard to this case, this investigation?
I did.
And who, if anyone, called?
Chief Berkowitz.
And what, if anything, did Chief Berkowitz indicate to you?
He asked me if I was working. When I told him no, he asked who was.
And who, if anyone, did you indicate to him was working?
I told him Detective Sergeant Lank was working.
And as far as what, if anything, was that call in reference to?
He stated he was driving in the area of 34 Fairview because of the warm weather and the warm rain in the last couple of days.
And what, if anything, did he indicate?
He believed.
Sustained. I'm going to see you at Sidebar, please.
Number 5.
Isn't this just a straight hearsay objection?
Correct.
So I understand that this might be the knowledge of the police officer, but haven't laid a foundation for that.
Really, all I'm trying to establish with this witness, Your Honor, is that essentially I'm trying not to get too much into it. It's just more he then directs Berkowitz to Lank. Lank recovers the items. That's all.
So you've got Lank testifying?
Correct.
Did Lank give the item to this witness?
No. So Lank photographs the item and leaves it in place until state police shows up. Sergeant Kenny is the one who comes and retrieves it.
Okay. Yes. You're not going to do that.
No. All I want from him is to get from Berkowitz to Lank. That's all.
And how do you get from Berkowitz to Lank with him?
Because he is the one that indicates to Chief Berkowitz that Lank is the one who is working that day. So
you already have it?
Exactly.
Okay, so we'll end it at that point.
Yes, definitely.
That was a whole lot just to get this one person to say, I told him that Sergeant Lank was working.
And so just to be clear, Lieutenant, you did not
Why
go
is he even on
to
his phone?
February 4th, 2022, correct?
I did not.
He wasn't even working that day. Why is he here?
All right, cross-examination.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Hey, stop buying courses. Listen, I want to build you a Shopify store completely free.
I told Detective Sergeant Lake, make sure he has initial statements from everybody present. And that's basically what we did prior to searching the scene itself.
With regard to Sergeant Lang, you told him to make sure that we had statements, your words, we had statements from all the witnesses that were at the scene.
Initial statements, yes.
Does that mean the people inside the house?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe people across the street, if there were people across the street?
No, it didn't include them at the time. It included people that were involved from the prior night's incident. outing, I would call it.
At the time that you tasked Sergeant Lank with this responsibility, did you know personally that you were standing on the property of Brian Albert?
I did.
Did you also know that Sergeant Lank had an ongoing and a long-time relationship with the Albert family?
Objection.
Did you know that?
I know he knew them. I think you're mischaracterizing the relationship.
Did you see a problem with having somebody who knew the parties taking the initial statements from those parties?
Not at all. Sergeant Lank, no issue at all.
Not in your mind?
Not in my mind.
Were you aware that before you got to the location, that Sergeant Lank had taken it upon himself to already make contact with the individuals in the house?
Objection.
I'm going to see you at Sidebars.
I bet you better go to Sidebar.
What is the objection?
First of all, knowledge of this witness, whether or not he knows what Lank knew or what Lank did prior to him getting there. Secondly,
Is it in a report Lank wrote?
I'm sorry.
Is it in a report that Lank wrote that he would have known about?
Generally, yes. If he had reviewed all the reports would know, this lieutenant would know, as a supervisor, that Sergeant Lank had certain relationship, or had a relationship, which he just testified to with the Alberts.
I understand that. But your question was whether he knew what he had done before he got there.
Correct. The only way that he would know that is if Lank had informed him, I've already interviewed these folks. And that's what I want to find out. Why did you task him to do something that had already been done? If he says I didn't know, then I'll live with that.
All right, so the question that was asked, you can ask.
Okay.
I'm going to allow it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Adam, because Lally said, okay. He did not like that answer.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I? Lieutenant, just before we went to Sidebar, I'd asked a quick question. Were you aware at the time that you tasked Sergeant Lank to go talk to the folks inside the house that he had already gone into the house to talk to them?
Yes, I did.
Who is your next witness, Mr. Lally?
Your Honor, the Commonwealth will call Sergeant Sean Good to the stand.
And while the sergeant's coming in, I'll see counsel about scheduling.
Sean, no good. He is no good. Sean Good is on suspension right now, you guys, for his participation in this very trial. Sean, no.
All right, so we were off on how long things might take this morning. Does it make sense? So is Lank your next witness?
Yes.
How long do you expect this witness?
It could be equal.
Does it make sense maybe to after lunch? So this witness will go past lunch?
I think so, yes.
There is no doubt.
And your cross?
It's probably about the length of Mr. Jackson's, I would say.
All right. So maybe we send the jury home early and do the voir dire of Lank when we finish with this witness.
Okay.
I mean, do you have a short witness in between?
In between? No. But I think Lieutenant Ray, is relatively quick.
All right. Let's see what time it gets to be. But I'd like to do that voir dire today and have Lank on tomorrow, rather than...
Sure. Okay. That makes sense.
Do a quick voir dire about it. Okay. Thank you.
Whenever you're ready, Mr. Lally.
Thank you. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Could you please state your name and spell your last name, please?
It's Sean Good, Goode.
And how are you employed, sir?
At the Canton Police Department.
Pouring more into social and search? Dave just realized that it brings less with every dollar spent. Other advertising.
You were assigned
as the primary investigator in the reconstruction analysis for this case, correct?
Assigned as the what?
You were assigned as the primary investigator in the reconstruction analysis for this case.
I don't know reconstruction analysis. No, I was the patrol supervisor that day.
Everybody want to be like, nope,
Okay.
I didn't do it.
May I approach?
Yes.
I wasn't in charge of nothing. Good morning, Lorenzo.
Now, I'm going to show you what is, not sure how many pages, but there are quite a few.
Okay.
It's a
Your Honor, if you could not describe what he's showing to the witness and
Yeah,
just
just
show
go
it
ahead
to
and
him.
show it to him.
Sure. I'm going to direct you, I'm taking up the first 4 pages and directing you just to the 5th page.
Okay.
And specifically the second paragraph, and it's numbered number 2.
Okay.
And I will ask you if you've seen that before.
Okay.
And I'll take it back from you.
Okay.
Give you, me.
Sure.
Thank you. Do you recognize what this is?
Looks like some state police form.
Okay. Is it a
Why don't you not ask him? He just answered what he thought it was.
are you familiar with a collision analysis and reconstruction section, a CARS report?
I know the state police has a cars section that handles motor vehicle homicide.
Does this appear to be a CARS report?
I've never seen one. You just showed me one. I'm not in the state police.
Okay. But you did see that your name is listed in the paragraph that I pointed out to you?
Sure.
And you're listed as Sergeant Sean Good, that's you, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Of the Canton Police. And you're assigned as the primary investigator in this reconstruction.
Because I wrote the offense report from that day.
Well, I'm just asking you. I'm dealing with the state police report that lists you as the primary investigator with regard to the reconstruction.
Objection, Your Honor. May we approach?
Sustained. Sure, why don't you all come up for a minute? Bring
I
that.
don't even know what the objection is, girl. She like sustained.
Can I see it, Mr. Yannetti?
Sure, of course. That is the beginning of the report, and that's the paragraph.
How you
Who
object
wrote this
to
report?
your job?
Not Sergeant Good, somebody else.
Right. I know from state police. But why don't you take that and tell me the author while I read this?
It's Trooper Paul, Your Honor.
Yes, Trooper Paul.
Okay. Is he on your witness list?
Yes.
Okay. So some of what causes difficulty is asking questions of the wrong witness.
Uh-huh.
So he didn't adopt any of this, right?
That's really not what the report says, Your Honor. He had nothing to do with the reconstruction. In any reconstruction report, they're going to list who the primary investigator is with the involved department. So whoever they spoke to on scene or whoever wrote this OF report is going to be listed in the recon report as a primary investigator. That doesn't mean he had anything to do with the reconstruction.
I can ask another couple of... I didn't know that, but...
Or what was that?
I would assume Mr. Yannetti knows this.
I did not. I'll ask another couple of questions just to get out of it, and I'll move on.
I'm assuming
Okay.
you should know this.
Thank you.
Sergeant Good, what was your understanding on February 1st of 2022 regarding the Canton Police Department's role in this homicide investigation?
I believe at some point on the 29th, we recused ourselves and we weren't part of the investigation.
Okay. So you did know as of the day that John O'Keefe was found on Brian Albert's front lawn that the Canton Police had recused themselves from the case, correct?
At some point, I was notified after I finished all my paperwork, yeah.
And what was your understanding of the recusal decision in terms of what Canton Police was either allowed to do or not do?
Well, he had passed away, so now is no matter what, it's state police investigation. It's a homicide. We do not investigate homicides.
Well, you've been a Canton police officer for 18 years, correct?
Yes.
During those 18 years, do you know how many homicide investigations have occurred in Canton?
None.
None?
Homicides? No. And I was involved in none.
That the department was involved in?
I can't think off the top of my head, no.
So in the 18 years, this is the first homicide that you've been in, your department's been involved in, to your knowledge?
Yes.
Okay. Are you aware that although the state police have primary jurisdiction, they work hand in hand with local departments, usually, unless there's a conflict of interest?
Yes.
So in this case, you learned that there was a conflict of interest. And my question to you is, what did that mean in terms of your potential involvement in the investigation once that conflict was determined?
Action, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Were you the primary investigator for the Canton Police Department as of February 1st?
No.
Did you participate
That's
with the state police in any part of the reconstruction?
No.
Now, Sergeant Good, who is Brian Higgins?
He is a ATF agent that has a satellite office out of the Canton Police Department.
Were you able to see that when people are moving, or when somebody's moving in the top version, they're also moving in the bottom version, just, again, from different vantage points?
Yes.
So do these both appear to be fair and accurate representations of the dash cams that were going on at that time?
Yes.
I would offer that, Your Honor.
Okay, I'd like to see Counselor Sidebar for just 1 second.
I think we're on Sidebar 7.
Okay. If there is no objection to it, I'm going to let it in. I only have one question.
Uh-huh.
So it's been altered in that it says, as read, Officer Seraph Dashcam and Officer Good Dashcam. Their own dash cams don't say that. They are just numbers.
True.
And it's two of them spliced together or put together. Are there any other alterations to this?
No. It's just only the wording. That's it. The labeling and the synchronization. That's it. Yes, that's it.
All right.
Thank you.
That will be admitted as Exhibit 16.
So this will now become Exhibit 16.
Work today is broken. Every day, people juggle so many different tools just
Good.
Does that appear to be your police report, sir?
Yes.
Now, and with the court's permission, I'd actually like the officer to have the report in front of him when I ask him these questions.
Okay, but nothing's going up on the screen, right?
Not yet.
Okay, so approach before it does.
I will, I promise.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm directing your attention to the first page.
Okay.
You will agree with me that this report is submitted with regard to incident number 22-87-OF?
Correct.
And this is call number 22-449, correct?
Correct.
The date and time reported is listed as January 29th of 2022 at 06:08, correct?
Correct.
Which would be in military time 6:08 a.m.
Correct.
The report date and time is listed as January 29th of 2022.
Objection, Your Honor.
All right, so why don't we come to Sidebar now? And I'm sorry.
I think we're now at Sidebar 8.
The objection?
I don't understand the relevance or the point of this. If he's just going to read the entire report word for word or no.
I just want to say the reason I wanted you to come to Sidebar.
Sure.
If the Commonwealth tried to put in a police report, I would shoot them right down.
I understand.
So what are we doing with the screen and why are you reading to him?
Okay. So that portion that I just read, it's essentially all I'm going to ask him.
What page are you on? Because I have...
It's on the first page. It shows the incident number, the call number, date and time report, report date and time, and reporting officer. That's it. That's all I was going to read from there, and then I was going to reference the photo. Where I'm going with this, Your Honor, is his identical information that I'll have him corroborate the altered and changed. We've blocked out any, compromising information. I'm not seeking any other portion of the report, but I'd like to show the jury that, and then a close-up of that photo. Show the jury this, and then a close-up of that photo.
What is that?
This actually shows a piece of taillight that was not in the original photo. It's a completely different photo.
Okay. Have you shown him this yet?
He has not seen this yet.
All right. Is there an objection to just continuing here and showing that one photo?
I have no objection to showing a photo to the witness, but I don't want a photo going on the screen.
All right. So
Yeah,
you're
'cause
going to have to
it's
show
your
him
taillight.
this. It's late in the day. How much longer do you have with him?
I mean, I think I might be able to finish by 4. No, don't have that much more. Probably 15 more minutes.
So why don't we bring him back tomorrow, deal with this issue? All right? He's going to have to look at it. I'd like these marked. I'd like to have that voir dire of Lank today. He's here, right?
I believe so. He was.
My concern, Your Honor, from a strategic standing and also with regard to sequestration, I have now shown my cards.
I don't think you have, because it wasn't at all clear to me what you were doing.
I get that. My point is, I don't want the Commonwealth to be revealing to the witness where I'm going with this.
Okay. I had to pause here. I've been trying not to pause because I told y'all this is a long video. But do y'all see how she's interrupting the flow of the defense and their strategy? She's like, yeah, let's take a break. Once he get ready to back this guy in a corner, let's take a break right here and go do something else. And he like, wait a minute now, because for my strategy, I need to get this out. I didn't show them my hand. No, you didn't, because I didn't know where you was going with it. Just because you don't know where I'm going with it doesn't mean that they don't know where I'm going with it, and now they're going to prep their client. Sorry. She pisses me off.
He won't.
Okay, that's all.
Otherwise, I don't know when we will get that voir dire in. And I think that's important.
I understand.
So does this seem like a good place to end then with him?
That's fine, Your Honor. Yes, we can do that.
What else you going to say?
All right, because you're going to have to show him that before.
You know they're technically not supposed to talk to witnesses.
Okay, so simply cautions, please do not discuss this case with anyone. Don't do any independent research or investigation into this case. If you happen to see, hear, or read anything about this case, please disregard it and let us know. So we'll see you tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning's a hot day.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Yes. And then the next
Good morning,
day
Sergeant. Good morning.
the
Sergeant, you are familiar
Back
with
to
the key
Sergeant
swipe
Good.
system at the Canton Police Department?
Yes.
Could you explain to the jury how that works?
So police officers are issued looks like a credit card. I have it in my wallet. Anytime I enter or leave the police department, the exterior doors going out the back there's a key scan you put up to it to unlock the door to come in. When you leave, you don't have to go in, but if you need to go into the booking area, you have to scan yourself in and out. And to get out of the sally ports, you have to scan in and out.
Okay, and just trying to keep your voice up so that these last few jurors can hear you. How many officers on your department have those keys that can be swiped?
I would believe all of them.
Okay. And how many, strike that. Do you know how this information is stored at the Canton Police Station?
I do not. I don't know the software, but I believe it's recorded anytime we would come and go.
Okay. And you say you believe that it's recorded at the time that the information is obtained? In other words, somebody key swipes in and that information is then stored, you believe, at the Canton Police Station?
I don't know the software, so I wouldn't be able to give you an educated response to that.
And do you yourself, as a sergeant, have access to the key swipe data, or is that limited to certain officers at the department?
I don't believe I have access to that. I've never accessed it.
You've never accessed it. Okay. Your Honor, we do have a stipulation between the parties, if the court will accept it, to introduce the key swipe records from January 29th of 2022.
Okay.
I would offer that as the next exhibit.
Any objection, Mr. Lally?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Are they subject to redactions?
Yes, we have redacted them. The court can certainly take a look to make sure that...
Have you all agreed to the redactions?
May we approach Justice to that?
Yes.
Are we up to 8?
So, Your Honor, I'm a little confused, but Ms. Little grabbed me right before. First, I apologize for my tardiness this morning. Ms. Little had referenced to me just before the court came out that they had blacked out something to do with TUI materials. I'm just a little confused on that.
Okay, so I'm
not going to be showing these to the jury now. If there is an issue with redaction...
All right, they can come in later.
Well, I'd like them admitted now if I can, but subject to whatever redaction before the jury ever sees them.
They will remain here. I'm not admitting them. I have some leeway on admitting exhibits.
Of course, I know.
Especially on cross-examination.
I know.
Okay, so I'm not admitting them because we have to make sure all records are redacted. I have no doubt you'll be able to get them in, just not right now.
Okay.
Well, we will mark this for identification.
Your Honor, I'm sorry. All I wanted to say is I don't know where those came from because I don't recall that being in the material.
Okay. So let's get in with the evidence. We can discuss this.
Well, I believe it's already in one of the exhibit books as far as the copies that I got from Canton PD and I provided to counsel. But I don't know where that came from.
Okay, so it's not in evidence. It's marked for identification.
Thank you.
You would agree with me that it is important when you're writing a police report to be transparent, correct?
Yes.
You want to be clear, correct?
Yes.
You do not want to mislead the reader into believing something that is not true, correct?
Yes.
Can I see P and Q for identification, please? May I approach you on?
Yes.
I'm showing you first P for identification. You identified that yesterday, correct?
Yes.
We went over with the jury the 5 bits of information that are up at the top of the report, starting with the incident number, correct?
Yes.
You had indicated again incident 22-87-OF?
Yes.
Call 22-449?
Yes.
Date and time reported January 29th of 22 at 6:08?
Yes.
And the report date and time was January 29th of 22 at 8:24 a.m., correct?
Yes.
Reporting officer, Sergeant Sean Good, correct?
Yes.
I'd like to show you now what has been marked Q for identification. And you can hang on to P if you like. With regard to those bits of information, first of all, let me have you identify Q for identification. I'm sorry.
Yes, I'm reading Q.
Okay, what is Q for identification?
Exhibit Q.
Right. What is the actual document?
We call this a face sheet.
Okay. And with regard to P for identification, that's also a face sheet, correct?
Yes.
They appear to be nearly identical, correct?
Correct, except I'm looking at the top right corner. One says 1/30/2022, and the next would be 10/25/2022.
That is the print date of the report, correct?
Okay, I don't know.
So regardless of when those two face sheets had been printed, ignore that. With regard to the information about the incident number and the date of the report and the date of the incident and the reporting officer, those appear to be identical, correct?
Correct.
Now, with regard to P for identification, which is the first report that you were shown, and you were shown that yesterday, and now you have it in front of you, there is a photo on the right side of that report, is there not?
There is.
Do you know what that photo is of?
It looks like the scene probably a couple days later when the snow had melted.
Okay. Does it look like a berm that was actually
exposed,
uncovered by the officers on scene the very first day?
Yes. Are we looking at Q?
No,
At P? Yes. P, yes. It looks like the berm. Correct.
And then with regard to Q for identification, which again is the face sheet with the identical information, is there a different photo?
Yes.
What does that photo appear to depict, if you know?
It looks like the same area that Mr. O'Keefe possibly was found, I believe.
Those two documents, P for identification and Q for identification, those are actually your report, correct?
Correct. But can I explain?
Mr. Lally will, I'm sure, let you explain. At this point, I'm going to be asking the questions, if you don't mind. Your Honor, I would offer into evidence as full exhibits both P and Q for identification. Just the face sheet.
Is there an objection?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, the objection sustained.
May we approach?
Okay, can I see?
You don't even know what the. She's coaching. She is coaching the Commonwealth. Is there an objection? He had not objected. He didn't object until he was prompted to object. Then she immediately sustains it. What is his objection? What is his legal objection? We about to find out right now. This is so ridiculous. Come on.
Listen, it's called Connect Team, and it's insane. I don't do schedules or timesheets manually anymore.
And it works?
I guess I'll hear the objection first.
Go ahead with your objection.
I don't see how any of this is relevant, number one. Number two, as far as it was already testified as to what it is. I don't understand why these need to be put in. So this is going to be helpful to the jury. What I'd like to do, and Your Honor, with regard to police reports, Your Honor is 100% correct. Typically, you don't admit somebody's police report with a narrative and all of the hearsay that it contains. That's not what I'm looking to do here. And in fact, if the court only wanted to admit the top half of both of these forms, that would be fine.
Also, the no crime involved. There is a lot of hearsay. So what you want is the pictures. Mr. Yannetti, right? That they're separate pictures?
But I think it's far more powerful if the jury sees that the information is identical. And in fact, we can redact the no crime involved. I don't need that. The other stuff is just, I'm not offering it for the truth of the matter asserted. I am offering it to show that it matches and what I think it doesn't match. That's why it's relevant.
But he said he didn't know why this had 10.
No, he actually said he did. That's the print date.
Well, you said the print date, and he said, I guess. All right. Printed by whom? The police station or you guys?
No, not by us. This is a police document.
So you just want these photos in to show that they are different?
Yes, but I want to show that they are part of the police report. They are part of an identical police report. I mean, The fact that there is, the police logo and it all looks official.
All right, so I will let it in, but I'm not going to allow you to publish anything on the screen. Because if this is indecipherable.
Well, we have ways of magnifying it.
Exactly.
You can see it.
But maybe that's for a later time. I will let you put in the top part after these are, but not no crime involved because that would be hearsay.
Right, yes.
So I'll let you put in the top third of each of these reports as is, and later we can see if we can expand upon them.
Do you mean to tell me that we had 2 trials and these cops, in air quotes, filled out a police report where they listed no crime involved? So you mean they didn't think that a crime had been committed, but they tried this lady 2 times?
Let me ask you this. Can we black out the no crime involved now with a magic marker? And can I just show that what the court has in your hand right here on a split screen?
No, because I haven't yet seen the altered version of this. And again, the jury gets the evidence right here. The jury doesn't get, I don't know. Have you seen what this is?
Yes. I believe you may have it on your desk right now, but I gave the actual exhibit. I don't know. I thought I saw it.
Do you have the actual exhibit? While MS Little is getting that, we need to still talk about Sergeant Lank and what exactly you intend to put in so that I can rule on exactly what I think.
Of course.
What you would be allowed to put in?
Sure.
Thank you, Miss Little. Okay. Is this in evidence? I hate to say this without any reference to it.
Not that.
Do you intend to put it into evidence?
Yes.
So with that, if you intend to put this still into evidence, Mr. Yannetti, if you could, and is this berm in evidence or?
It is.
Is this a different one? All right, so if you put that in first and then put these in, then I'll let you put it on the screen.
Okay. Thank you.
Is there an objection to that, Mr. Lally?
I do have...
To black out the...
As to the photographs, no objection to that. As far as the report or any part of the report, there is an objection to that.
All right. So as to the top, what is your objection?
Again, I think it comes into a bit of a dangerous territory in the sense that if counsel is going to try to suggest there is some sort of difference between the reports, then I think we almost enter into a realm of the entire report coming in.
I think he said he's going to suggest that the reports are identical. The only change is this.
Correct.
So let's make that clear, okay?
Okay.
All right, so the report is put on the screen. That has to be whited out, and only this part can be shown.
They do not want those
Thank you.
reports in.
But you have to put that in first.
Okay.
Your objection is noted, Mr. Lally. Ms. Little will give you that.
Mr. Lally? I'm sorry. Just to make sure there are no mistakes, it's been suggested to me, and I think it's probably a good idea, to cut this exhibit.
Okay.
There is nothing else that's shown for sure when it's put on the screen.
Wait, how are you putting it on the screen? I thought we already had it.
I was going to suggest that Mr. Bates has the entire report. Because it's electronic, I don't want to take any chance for it to accidentally be put up. If we just cut it, we can use the Elmo. We've got an Elmo.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yes. So white it out and cut it.
And just for the record, the P and Q exhibit stickers are above the point where we would cut it anyway.
Keep them on it. Because then that's when we will put the exhibit number.
Correct. Thank you.
All right.
That sidebar was long, wasn't it? Good Lord.
Questions you can ask while you wait for this.
I'm just getting the exhibit that I need, Your Honor. I appreciate it. While I'm waiting for that, may I approach?
Yes.
Okay, I've placed a photo before you, Sergeant Kidd. Do you recognize what that depicts?
Yes.
What does it depict?
I believe that's a photo of a piece of a taillight.
Okay. And when you say a photo of a piece of a taillight, you're obviously referring to a piece of a taillight allegedly found at 34 Fairview in Canton?
Yes.
Now, that photo is the photo that is included in Exhibit Q for identification that you previously saw, right? That's the second photo, is it not?
On the second face sheet that he gave me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. And I'm showing you, if I may approach again,
Yes.
what has already been marked Exhibit 20A. Do you recognize that?
Yes.
What do you recognize that to be?
That's the berm from that morning.
Okay. And Exhibit 20A is the photo that was in the first version of your report, which was P for identification, correct?
Yes.
I can take those back from you, sir.
You're welcome.
Did you know that women are generating recurring royalties from romance novels they didn't even write themselves?
Published the two photos. I'm sorry. With regard to the first photo that you identified, which was the piece of taillight that allegedly was found at 3430, that was a fair and accurate representation of that photo, correct?
Yes.
All right. May I offer that, Your Honor?
Okay, there's no objection, Mr. Lally?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm sorry, the exhibit number was? 42. 42, thank
There's
you.
no objection.
May I
Wanted him to say
publish 20A and 42 separately for the jury, Your Honor?
Okay.
Okay. 20A is, you've testified, the photo of the berm that was included in the first version of your police report, which was P for identification, correct?
Yes.
All right. Let's put up 42, please. The exhibit sticker's upside down, but oh, there we go. That is the photo of the piece of taillight allegedly found at 34 Fairview that you have identified as Exhibit 42, correct?
Yes.
All right. Now, having seen those photos, one was included in P for identification, one was included in Q for identification, correct?
Yes.
Which you've previously identified as your reports. Or report, I should say.
Yes.
All right. Your Honor, I would offer the top portion of P and Q for identification as a full exhibit.
Okay, and there's an objection from the Commonwealth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. It will come in
Objection.
when the jury actually gets it. We'll have it on the same 9x12 paper that everything else is.
Perfect.
And all exhibits go through Madam Court Reporter.
Oh, of course.
So, jurors, I'm going to send you out for 5 minutes, okay?
Sidebar.
Gather all your belongings, follow me, all rise, jury out.
All right. So I thought you were going to cut them. Apparently, you probably don't have scissors. Let's get these so that they're acceptable to go to the jury. I mean, this just came in with the whole report on it.
I'm sorry?
This just came into evidence with the whole report, and that's not what you agreed to at sidebar.
Right. I mean, I guess we didn't have scissors, but what I was going to do, because it's folded, all I was going to show the jury was the part that got in.
But these are now in evidence.
Understand.
Okay, and that can't happen. So fix them. Do we have scissors, Mr. Clerk? Thank you.
Okay.
So why don't you fix them, run them through a copy machine. All right, we'll take a 5-minute recess. And actually, this is probably a good time for me to say, and it's not just the defense, it's not just the prosecution, but we're taking an awful lot of these jurors' times. We're taking days and weeks. Let's not squander it by, repetitive evidence or taking time like this that we shouldn't need to take. Okay, let's move this case along.
She's the one.
All right, please.
The one. That is hilarious to me.
Your Honor, can I have P&Q marked as the next exhibits in the trial?
Okay.
And with the court's permission, I'd like to display these one above the other.
Okay.
Okay. Sergeant Good, you have previously testified about the details in these reports. You would agree that each of these reflects your report. It says reporting officer Sergeant Sean Good, correct?
Yes.
Each of these is page 1 of your report, correct?
Yes.
You've previously testified that you call that the face sheet of the report, correct?
Yes.
Each of these has the identical incident number and call number, correct?
Yes.
The identical date and time reported, correct?
Yes.
The identical report date and time, correct?
Yes.
And of course, the identical officer.
Yes.
Other than the print date of the face sheet of your report, one appears to be in January, one appears to be in October, the major change is the photo that's included on the face sheet, correct?
Yes. Can I explain why?
So that second photo with the piece of trail light that is included on the first page of your report, that photo is not from January 29th of 2022, correct?
Correct.
You never took a photo of a piece of taillight on January 29th of 2022, correct?
Correct.
You never saw a piece of taillight at 34 Fairview on January 29th of 2022, correct?
Correct.
I just made a $27 ebook in 2
But
minutes.
you just changed the photo and left everything the same like you did.
Okay.
If I might.
Very briefly.
You had just talked about how Tim Albert was charged as a result of the investigation that he did years ago, correct?
Yes.
The evidence in that case, you would agree with me, was strong against Tim Albert for that crime, was it not?
For leaving the scene, yes.
Sure. Sergeant Blank actually was able to follow the trail of fluid from the accident scene right to 34 Fairview, correct?
Yes.
And Tim Albert admitted that he got nervous and left the scene, correct?
Correct.
All right. Now, despite the fact that he was charged, are you aware that the case was just flat out dismissed upon restitution?
Objection, move to strike, Your Honor.
The objection sustained.
Wait.
Jurors, you're to
Okay, time out. Listen, they're asking him if he knew about this case where there was an accident and Tim Albert, who is related to the Alberts at 34 Fairview, where this incident happened, that they were able to follow the trail, the oil trail, back to Fairview. And when he was confronted, he admitted that he left the scene of the accident. They had all the evidence against him, but then the case was simply just dismissed. Another incident where they are covering for this family.
Disregard that.
All right, you're all set, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Objection. We don't want that in.
Who is your next witness, Mr. Lally?
Yes, Your Honor. The Commonwealth calls Sergeant Michael Lang to the stand.
All right, so not yet. I'll see counsel at sidebar, please.
Sidebar. We can't do it yet. We ain't prepped him yet. He don't know what to say. He don't know what the lies are.
So we still need to deal with this. I assumed you'd want to know before you did your direct.
Yes.
You were saying before you had the other officer available yesterday to go. Can you call him, or do I have to give this jury another break? And, Mr. Yannetti,
Yes, Your Honor.
I expect better from you than that.
I think that is admissible, Your Honor.
I know you might, but it's not.
Okay.
Especially, we haven't had this conversation yet today about what I was admitting regarding that incident. So I'm just telling you that. Do you want to call the other witness, or do you want me to give the jury another break?
Oh, she's still mad about that other case.
I'm
that
sorry.
He brought up.
Your Honor, I just asked if I could step out to see if he's here.
Okay.
I could step out of the courtroom and...
Sure. Mr. Jackson, do you want to tell me exactly, do you want to do this now here while the jury is waiting?
Sure.
Let me just grab I'm going to send the jurors out for 5 minutes.
All right.
All right. Shit. We sick of this. Look at Karen. She like, they mad. Oh, they was so mad. Cause they showing a pattern of you all protecting this family. Y'all gonna pin it on Karen.
Oh, it's important to the defendant's case. So tell me exactly, based on the voir dire yesterday, exactly what you hope to get into.
Thank you, Your Honor. With regard to the voir dire yesterday, my intention is to closely mirror my questioning of Sergeant Lank with my questioning of him on voir dire. In other words, the fact of the fight, the fact of Chris Albert's involvement in the fight, the fact of his getting involved in the fight, called officers to assist him, the specifics of the allegations of the Localito brothers as to his conduct, what they alleged he did, the part that he took in the fight, their subsequent release from the scene, going back into the Canton Police Department to file or lodge a complaint, the fact that they were turned away for the complaint, there were subsequent police reports filed, and the local...
So I don't have those, right? You didn't send them to us.
We got those. We got those last
night. It's too late for the police reports, but go ahead and finish what you've got.
Right. Just so the court knows, as the court requested, we provided those to the judicial assistant last night.
Who's the judicial assistant?
Yeah. Mr.
Is this Localito's?
Localito. Yeah.
Go ahead after the police report.
So basically, Your Honor, and I don't have any interest in introducing the police reports. I just need the timing. In other words, there was the fight, the complaint, the police reports were filed after the complaint, and then they were charged after the police reports. And then the subsequent resolution of the matter. The fact
so what do you mean by subsequent resolution of the matter?
They were adjudicated not guilty, and ultimately the subsequent witness intimidation request by Sergeant Lank was thrown out by the DA. With regard to what was brought up by Mr. Lally yesterday, I intend to include and elicit in my questioning of Sergeant Lank the issue concerning Tim Albert and the resolution of that issue.
Well, Mr. Yannetti just did that.
Well, he didn't because the court struck it.
Yeah. It should not have been done.
Well, Your Honor,
go ahead.
Respectfully, the Commonwealth left the jurors with a misimpression intentionally.
So
his last question was, and he was charged. That's true. He was charged. And then those charges were dismissed subsequent thereto.
Right, but this was specific. We should have, and it wasn't objected to. Right. So Mr. Lally's question wasn't objected to. All right. So is that the end of what you intend to get into?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Lally, you're objecting to all of this?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you want to be heard specifically on anything?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So what I'm going to allow you to get in is the relationship of Sergeant Lank with the Alberts. But keep in mind, Mr. Jackson, the Alberts are not all one entity. So you must do it individually, and simply because the witness had a relationship with Chris Albert doesn't mean that it has any bearing on favoritism or bias to Brian Albert or to Tim Albert. So you have to do them individually. I'll give you some leeway on the incident itself, but keep in mind the particulars of the fight isn't really what matters here. It's the fact of the fight and the intervening of Sergeant Lank on behalf of Chris Albert, as it's relevant to bias or favoritism. So if there are objections that you get beyond, you may be stopped. You can get when and where it happened, that it happened outside a bar where the witness had been drinking. He did not acknowledge your drinking buddy's comment, so you're not to specifically say that, where you just said you're going to outline what you did yesterday, and that this occurred in Canton. The role, if any, he had in handcuffing or having the Lapalitos put in custody, and the fact that Mark Lapalito went to the Canton Police Department to file a report. What you cannot get into is the mobile gas station incident, because I didn't hear anything yesterday that the conduct of Sergeant Lank had anything to do with the Alberts. I'm not convinced that it wasn't merely self-interest on his part. So that's out. That was 22 years ago. Nothing, so you're not getting into the federal investigation that he was sued. I'm not letting you get into the not guilty because it's speculative. Who knows why he was found not guilty, why they were found not guilty. You cannot get into that. There are all kinds of reasons people can be found not guilty. Whether I allow more depends on the testimony, the direct and the cross. So you are to go no further than that without leave of court. So the Commonwealth can then get into the animosity between the witness, Sergeant Lank, and Brian Albert because of the arrest of Tim Albert. But if, Mr. Lally, if you open the door to something further, I need to be seen at sidebar before anybody can come get into that. So, Mr. Jackson, you did this in 10 minutes yesterday. I don't expect you to take 2 hours to do this, okay?
Now she's telling him how long.
Just as an aside again, let's not waste the jury's time with repetitive testimony.
I don't intend to, Your Honor. I think I understand the court's, the parameters. The one thing I didn't hear the court say, but I think it was implied, but I want to make sure I'm clear. I can get into the fact that there was a complaint sought, and then there were subsequent police reports filed.
Not the police. I didn't hear anything yesterday about the police reports. I haven't seen them. So that the complaint was sought, and that subsequent to that, they were summoned and had to go to court.
And the dates of the police reports that were filed?
You can say the dates without saying the police reports. So they went into the station to file a complaint. They were told they couldn't file a complaint on those 2 days, right?
Correct.
And then the witness did testify that he filed a report, but it was that he had told his sergeant the night before of this incident, and the sergeant said, you don't have to file a report until you come back, or something like that.
So I'll just ask, were the reports dated after the initial complaint was reported?
Okay. I had to pause because apparently there was a hit and run in 1994 by Chris Albert, which involved Judge Beverly Cannoni's brother as his attorney. And the 2009 case of Tim Albert, I don't think that she was involved in that, but her brother was the attorney of record for Chris Albert. So all of these people are connected. Didn't I tell you all these people was connected?
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'll give you all a 5-minute break, and then we have to get going.
All rise in the court, please.
Everybody know everybody.
Court back in session, may be seated.
So, Mr. Jackson, you'll just alert me before you begin that line of questioning because I have an instruction.
Of course.
Okay. All right, Mr. Lally, your next witness, please.
Yes, Your Honor. The Commonwealth will call Sergeant Michael Lank to the stand.
Okay.
By the way, in trial, most of these people were not home.
Thank you, Your Honor. May we approach briefly?
Sure.
I just wanted to let the court know that we anticipate going into the relationship right off the bat. So, if there is a instruction that the court...
With the whole incident right off the bat?
Correct. And get that out of the way.
All right. Thank you.
Your health deserves more than
Right
guesswork.
off the bat.
At Prenuvo, our whole body MRI scans for hundreds of...
All right, jurors, so you're about to hear evidence of an event that happened in 2002. This evidence can be considered by you insofar as it demonstrates or relates to the credibility of this witness and the thoroughness of the investigation into this case for which the defendant is currently on trial before you folks. You may use this evidence to the extent that you find it credible in deciding whether there was any bias or favoritism on the part of the police in their investigation in this case.
May I?
Mr. Jackson, yes.
I want to draw your attention to an incident in August of 2002. Do you remember an incident in 2002 occurring with, it involved Chris Albert?
Yes.
In 2002, in August of 2002 specifically, you were off duty, correct?
Yes.
You had been drinking alcohol, correct?
Yes.
You were approached by Chris Albert out in the parking lot, is that right?
That's correct.
And Chris Albert told you some information about being in a fight. That he had been in a fight or an altercation of some sort, correct?
He told me he had been in an altercation earlier in the night and some threats had been made to him and his family.
And you got out of your car and discussed this with Mr. Albert, correct?
No.
You just talked to him while you were seated in your car?
Yes.
Okay. At some point, did some other individuals approach that same area?
Yes.
Was there a fight that you believed was about to ensue?
Yes.
Did you get out of your car at that point?
I did.
Did you come to Chris's aid by, quote unquote, activating yourself as an officer?
I got out of my car and I approached the group and I pleaded with them to not fight tonight. I said, there's not going to be a fight tonight. There's 6 of you guys. He's here with his girlfriend. There's not going to be a fight tonight.
Did you come to Chris Albert's aid as best you could as a longtime friend of his?
I came to the aid of a citizen who was in fear and in need.
That citizen happened to be Chris Albert, whom you had known since you were 12 years old.
Correct.
Ultimately, a fight did break out, did it not?
Yes.
And you engaged in that fight.
Yes.
And again, you had been drinking alcohol at that point, correct?
Correct.
And you were off duty in August of 2002 during this fight.
Yes.
Just like you were off duty in 2022 when you were called by Sergeant Good to activate and come to the crime scene at 34 Fairview.
When Sergeant Good contacted me, I was not working. I was due to work at 7:45 that morning. When Sergeant Good contacted me and told me what was going on, then I activated myself and came to work because I was the detective sergeant.
And that's similar sort of activation, using that word in air quotes, it's similar sort of activation that you employed back in 2002 to assist Chris Albert.
No.
You did, in fact, call for someone to call the police and get some Canton officers over there, correct?
Excuse me, so in 2002?
In 2002.
Yes.
Okay, and I failed to ask you this, but in 2002, you were, in fact, a Canton police officer.
Yes.
At the time. After the other officers arrived, did you order the other officers to handcuff or somehow restrain one of the two brothers that were involved in this fight with Chris?
No.
Ultimately, did you see whether or not those officers handcuffed or otherwise restrained one of the brothers that was involved in this fight?
Yes.
And did you then engage physically in a fight with the other brother who was not restrained?
No. The struggle had already occurred.
All right. So let me make sure I get the timing right. You did, in fact, engage in a physical fight with one of the brothers, correct?
Upon being struck, yes.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Upon being struck, yes.
And then you struck him back.
Yes.
You ended up on the ground.
Yes, we were wrestling, yes.
And ultimately, the other officers had to pull you off that man, correct?
No.
You ultimately, the fight was broken up between you and the other brother. Is that right?
That's correct.
All right. And that fight was broken up by the officers who were on scene.
Yes.
After this physical altercation with the brother who was not ultimately restrained, both of the brothers and everybody else was just told by the officers, just go away. Get out of here, go home, correct?
No, I believe one of the brothers left the scene, fled the scene, and the brother that was restrained was ultimately uncuffed and left free to go.
And nobody was arrested that night?
Correct.
Nobody chased down the brother that left the scene, correct?
That's correct.
And nobody arrested the brother that had been handcuffed?
Correct.
And no police reports were written by you or any of the other officers about this incident on that night?
I don't recall when the other officers wrote theirs. I did not write mine on that night.
The next day, you became aware that one or both of the brothers had arrived at Canton Police Department to file a formal complaint for having been physically attacked by you and some of the other officers involved, correct?
I don't recall when I was made aware that they had come down to the police station.
You are aware that there was a complaint sought against you for the physical attack that was alleged to have occurred, correct?
It was brought to my attention that they had come down to the police station.
And you also are aware that only after that complaint had been sought, the police reports were then dated and filed against the two brothers, correct?
So I had spoken to the sergeant on duty the night of the incident.
No question. I'm just looking at the time.
It's not a yes or no question.
So he was just asking you about dates. So can you answer the question? Ask the question about the dates again, please.
I'm seeking the chronology of events. The fight occurs, a complaint against you occurs, and then police reports are filed against the two people that are complaining against you. Is that the chronology?
Yes.
And you're also aware that although he had been in a physical fight that night, no charges were ever brought against Chris Albert, correct?
Objection, Your Honor.
Do you know that?
Chris Albert is the brother of Brian Albert, the homeowner at 34 Fairview. He also is a select board member. They basically are the body of constituents or people that help to make the laws in Canton. So when I say that all of these people are intertwined, all of these people are intertwined.
I don't know. I don't even know where the fight occurred.
Officer Lang,
you don't know where
what we just talked about, is that an example of you using your position as a police officer to come to the aid of one of the members of the Albert family?
It was me coming to the aid of a citizen who was terrified and scared for him and his family on that night.
Who happened to be named what?
Excuse me. Who happened to be Chris Albert.
Amazon seller will take over your PPC ads and increase your sales without increasing your ad spend within the first 30 days or
nothing to see here. Nothing to see here.
Have you reviewed either? Well, let me ask a different question. Did you have a dash cam in the vehicle that you arrived in?
I did not.
And that's because was that a detective vehicle?
Yes.
sometimes used undercover, etc.
Yes.
So it's not a fully marked cruiser.
No, not at all.
The other cruisers you're aware did have dash cams, correct?
Yes.
Have you reviewed any or all of those dash cams from Officer Mullaney, Officer Seraph, Sergeant Good?
Yes.
And you reviewed those in preparation for your testimony?
Yes.
I'd like to show you what's been previously marked as Exhibit 16. And I'm going to ask Mr. Bates if you could fast forward that to about the runtime of about 28:35 or so, with the court's permission.
Yes.
Before we play this, it appears to be a still image of...
So let's not describe it.
Sure. What do you see on the screen?
I see two still images.
Okay. Do you recognize either or both of those images?
Yes.
How do you recognize them?
It looks like the scene from that morning. From, I believe it's going to be, the top one anyway is that 683 Officer Seraph's cruiser.
And the bottom one?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Looks like possibly Sergeant Good's based on where it's placed.
Okay. If we could fast forward to the 28:40 mark or so, Mr. Bates, and play that. And let's pause it for a second. Your Honor, may we approach briefly at...
Okay.
Sidebar.
I just wanted to briefly let you know, so you don't become impatient. I'm going to play about 5 minutes of this and stop it at certain points. About 4 different points in the 5.5 minutes in total.
So you don't be...
Okay, just don't narrate it.
I won't.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
Did you believe that there were any indicators that Mr. O'Keefe had been involved in some sort of a physical altercation?
Possibly.
Okay. And that's because you used the phrase, he had trauma to his face and head, right?
That's what I had been told, yes.
So based on what you had been told, you knew that there was a person laying out unconscious just outside a residence that may have been involved in a physical altercation. That's fair.
It's a possibility, yes. But again, there were a multitude of things that were going through my head as possibilities.
But that's one of the premier possibilities, right?
I wouldn't say it's premier, it was one of the possibilities.
And it's logical to believe that if a fight had occurred, very well may have started inside the residence 30 feet away.
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Did you believe in your mind that it was possible, given the fact that a violent confrontation was possible in your mind, that it could have started inside the house?
Objection.
Sustained.
May we approach?
Yes.
What are we objecting to?
What is the objection, Mr. Lally?
It calls for speculation.
This goes directly to something. It's not asking him to
Hold on. She sustained the objection and then immediately, when coming to sidebar, said, what's your objection? So you don't even know what the legal basis for his objection, but you sustaining it.
speculate. I'm asking him what his state of mind at the time was.
You have to ask it differently. You are asking him to speculate. Ask it differently.
Okay.
Ma'am?
Sure.
Lieutenant Lake, given what you believed at the time and the possibility that there was a fight or whatever, did you logically think in your mind, your state of mind was it possibly could have started in the house?
If it had been a confrontation, it could have started anywhere.
Right? The house is part of anywhere, right?
Correct.
So in other words, the house is not excluded in your mind at that point as a starting point for the investigation. Is that right?
Well, the starting point would have been where Mr. O'Keefe had been discovered, and then based on speaking with the witnesses, there was no indication that he had ever made it into the house.
Well, you didn't know that until you followed up on your investigation, correct?
I learned that by speaking to Ms. McCabe.
So you just took Ms. McCabe's word for it.
At that point in time, that was the only person I had spoken to, and she gave me a timeline of events from that night where Mr. O'Keefe was supposed to come back to the house, but never made it.
Have you ever been, in your course of investigating cases, have you ever been lied to by a witness?
Objection, Your Honor.
Can you answer that? Have you ever been lied to by a witness?
Yes.
What's the objection for that?
If you live in a Maryland zip code
Have
and
you
have
ever been
0
lied to by a
DUIs in the
witness?
last 5
Why
years,
would you object?
listen carefully.
I'm sure I have. I don't recall off the top of my head.
How long have you been a detective? I'm sorry, how long were you a detective when you were a detective?
I was a detective for 11 months as a sergeant, and then I was a detective for 15 months back in 2011-12.
And in your experience, and how long have you been a police officer?
Over 24 years.
So in your 24 years of experience and over a year as a detective, you can't remember if you've ever used evidence sealing tape?
As I said, I'm sure I have. I just can't recall one off the top of my head.
If you can recall using it at all, isn't the protocol that when evidence sealing tape is used to seal an item of evidence, when it's removed, it's not torn off, it's cut, and then new sealing tape is put over it with an initial and a date, correct?
Objection.
Do you know the answer to that?
I don't.
Okay, next question.
You don't. What?
That's all I have for this.
Okay, I'm going to see counsel at Sidebar for just a minute, please.
Sidebar. These people are horrible. They don't know nothing.
So I didn't want to interrupt you and embarrass you. You don't put anything up on that screen without my permission. You did it 5 times. Let's go to tab 1. Let's go to tab 2.
I thought if it was in evidence, we were free to.
You don't just freely walk about the courtroom and put up displays.
Where would you like me?
Mr. Yannetti should have told you that.
How would you like me to? What is the proper protocol to ask?
You asked me for permission to put something up on the screen.
Okay. Okay.
Mr. Yannetti, you have a role with Pro Hoc Vice to let them know.
I understand.
All right. The jury needs a break.
Baby, she could not
I've got
stand
about,
Alan.
just so the court knows.
Jurors, go ahead and let's take a 10-minute break. Okay?
The same question by a different witness in the same position yesterday.
Just so the court knows. I have maybe 10 minutes left. No longer.
And yours will be very short.
Yes.
All right. I'd really like to not bring him back again tomorrow.
No.
Will we start with another witness?
I think we can probably get through with Lieutenant Ray.
I was going to suggest, Your Honor, I would really like the court to rule on the photos I brought up at the start of the day yesterday, because I think there is a chance Caitlin Albert could be called tomorrow.
I doubt it.
You doubt it?
I can't hear.
I had just said that I was hoping for a ruling on the photos that I had brought up at the start of the day yesterday. I do have further oral argument to make outside the presence of the jury.
Why don't you make it right now?
Can I get my notes?
Are there pages and pages, or is this...
There's 3 pages, Judge.
Mr. Yannetti, I don't need to hear
pages?
3
No.
pages of argument.
Jesus.
Here is the thing, all right? Let me just try to encapsulate it. I thought that it would be appropriate to discuss what orders have been in place regarding reciprocal discovery. This court is free to make any orders it wants at any time, and I recognize that. But I wanted to explain the reason why we didn't reveal the photos that were previously marked H, I, J, and K previously. And, it was our view that there was no specific reciprocal discovery order that required the provision to the Commonwealth of material that we deemed to be impeachment evidence. It would have been within this court's purview to order it. And as I said, the court can order it now if it has not been ordered to this date, and I recognize that. But that was the reason for that. So with regard to those 4 photos, I understand the court's ruling that those were inadmissible to use against Ms. McLaughlin. My position, our position, is that we are in a much different position with regard to Caitlin Albert, not only with regard to those 4 photos, because now the Commonwealth is not surprised. They have time to prepare here, and that topic of conversation would be a part of our examination anyway. But also with regard particularly to these new photos that we just received over the weekend, there has been no discovery violation with regard to that. I have a list on my desk of all of the discovery that the Commonwealth has proved to us that continues to come in on a daily basis since this trial has started. So, clearly this is not something that we held back. It's new, it's relevant. And, the court had indicated yesterday that, it may be cumulative. I would take issue with that because there has been no photo introduced of their relationship, and there has been an attempt by Ms. McLaughlin to minimize that relationship. These photos not only prove that she was minimizing it, but, in my view, proof that she was lying on the stand about the nature of the relationship. She had said specifically 2 things. Number 1, that she hadn't had any contact with Caitlin Albert in the last 2 or 3 years. Come to find out, we have a photo from 8 months prior to January of 2022, where there is a limited number of people in a photograph, and Caitlin Albert and Katie McLaughlin had their arms around each other at a baby shower. In addition, Liza, what was the
statement?
Oh, yeah. She had also said that they'd only take day trips together to the beach in a group. We have a photo of them in Maine 4 hours away drinking in a hot tub, which clearly is not just a one-day trip. And then we have photos with the 4 of them together where she is with Caitlin Albert's 2 college roommates. So there is Caitlin Albert and her 2 roommates and Katie McLaughlin. She started off her testimony by saying, I went to school with somebody by that name. That's like saying, I know somebody who raised me who happens to be a woman and is married to my father. I mean, she misrepresented the relationship. This is central cross-examination material, and these exhibits are relevant. There has been no discovery violation, and I seek to use them during their cross of Caitlin Albert.
What do you say?
Your Honor, what I would say is there absolutely has been a discovery violation. The Commonwealth filed a motion for reciprocal discovery, which the court, I don't know if it was acted on as far as writing on the order, but it is specifically stated to counsel to provide those. The subsequent do absolutely nothing to further any point as far as firefighter McLaughlin. And I remind counsel that it is a firefighter, and that's how she's involved in this case and comes to the scene in the first place. Frankly, the cross-examination, I'm going to leave it at that because I don't want to say something that I may regret. But with regard to most of this is cumulative. The other sort of photographs that are in here are, they went to high school at the same time, which firefighter McLaughlin acknowledged. They were on the same track team. So were about 40 other people. Every other photograph that's contained in here is in a group setting, which is what firefighter McLaughlin acknowledged. There is absolutely no evidence whatsoever of any prevarication, any lying, anything mentioned in front of this court, and flat out accused firefighter McLaughlin of doing. There is no evidence of that in those photographs, the other photographs, or anything about her testimony. And frankly, it's repulsive.
Traditional dropshipping is dead. What we need to do is register with AutoDS. The quickest.
All right. So I'm going to strike the repulsive part. All right. So I did find that there was a violation of Rule 14. I know that counsel said that you didn't intend to use it, but I disagree, and I find that you did. So I will mark all of these for identification. There are 7 of them. And I made an independent finding that they are cumulative, that Mr. Jackson got the answers that he was looking for, and that the photos are not inconsistent. So for all of those reasons, the photos from the other day are out, and these are out.
Specifically with regard to these.
Hold on.
Do you want them as one, or?
I think one is easier.
With regard to the.
Hold on. All right. What's your question, Mr. Yannetti?
Just so I understand the court's ruling with regard to those additional photos that we received over the weekend, is the court ruling that they are excluded in part because they too are a discovery violation?
I don't know where they came from or who authenticates them. Did you get these, Commonwealth?
I mean, when the court did, I had represented we received these over the weekend, and in fact, we got
Unknown sources.
right.
And some are marked. Tori, can I have that, please? Thank you. So I don't hear anything right now that would make these admissible. You need to question the witness first. I don't have your discovery motion in front of me, Mr. Lally. Did it include impeachment material?
I can speak to that because I reviewed it. It did. If that motion was allowed, then my reading of the motion is that these, not these, but the previous 4 photographs should have been turned over. But I also...
The motion was allowed because I remember saying I knew you had to wait until a certificate of compliance.
Right.
And I said that the Commonwealth's motion is allowed, is my understanding, and you had to get it immediately. I think I said 2 days. I didn't know that even Ms. Little complied much sooner than that.
Right.
And I really would rather handle it in his testimony. Do you need much more time on this, hearing from all 3? Actually, just the 2 of you.
Well, I was just going to explain, Your Honor, that I checked the docket. The motion was not endorsed, but I don't question what the court just said.
Okay. I remember specifically the 2-day part.
That's fine.
Why don't we just continue? If you come up with another argument before the witness testifies, you can tell me about it.
Okay, thank you.
I really don't want to waste any more time.
I understand.
You're
I understand.
wasting the time.
So we won't get a break. We'll just bring the jury in. Okay?
Fine.
Look at Liza. Liza mad down there in that corner. Looks like she's coming out her ears.
All right, Mr. Jackson, whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have at this time.
Okay. Mr. Lally?
Thank you, Ron. Just briefly, sir, with regard to incident you were asked about from August of 2002.
You told him to wear his hair like this.
You explain in your own words what happened.
We don't need to explain.
So I had left the establishment center field
I had enough of
at the time.
Let's just fast forward on.
I intend to ask 3 questions. Number 1, you just described a situation in which 2 men assaulted a police officer, basically in front of other police officers. They were never convicted of anything. I won't go into it any further, but I'd like to say they were not convicted. Mr. Lally has indicated that they were charged, but I think the other side of that coin is, but they weren't convicted. The second thing I'd ask is he made a statement saying, whoever you are, I'm going to make your life miserable, and that's on the record. He didn't admit or deny it, and then the third thing is simply wrapping it up with this was in furtherance of you coming to Chris Albert's aid.
All right. How do you respond, Mr. Lally?
So, Your Honor, as it pertains to, I didn't have any indication, there was no indication that anybody was arrested, charged, or anything as it pertains to Lo Pilatos. So whatever happened with the case is not relevant and germane. As far as what I did with the witness was in response to Mr. Jackson's questions, which understandably on cross-examination, it can be leading. But essentially he led him through a certain narrative that I did not believe to be accurate. And so I asked the witness what his recollection of that narrative is. That has nothing to do with any of the subsequent trial intimidation charges or anything of that like. You know, I think as far as his, and I'm sorry, I can't recall exactly what your questions were again.
The main thing that I would need the court's guidance on or alert the court to is I want to be able to ask him, given the narrative that he just described for Mr. Lally, anybody would expect that he would have been charged and convicted. I simply want to be clear they were not convicted of anything which suggests that his narrative is spinning the facts in his favor.
So tell me the question again. I don't want 5 questions. You said there were 3 questions. I don't want 5 on the same topic.
Right.
What is the first question?
You claimed, in Mr. Lally's questions, you claimed that you were specifically physically assaulted by... The fact of the matter is, they were never convicted of anything having to do with assault on a police officer.
What was the second question?
You indicated that they said to you, and I will adopt my language accordingly, I don't give an F what we do. You know, I'm going to continue to fight you anyway. On record, what was said was he said to them, I don't know who you are, but I'm going to make your life miserable.
He said he gonna make those people lives miserable. You hear me?
All right, so let me hear the first question again. I thought the first time he said something like this happened in front of several police officers.
Right. Your claim is that you were assaulted in front of other police officers. They were never convicted of anything having to do with assault on a police officer or anything else.
Regarding this incident.
Regarding this incident, yes.
I'm going to allow it, Mr. Lally, and I feel bad. It's the one time he did not really ask any leading questions and all of this came in. So I'll allow the in front of police, you know. The first time you worded it was the best.
Okay.
Now she got to tell him
I don't
how
want you to
say
get
it.
into all the details that Mr. Lally, just in response to Mr. Lally's question.
Did you hear how she said, I'm
Right.
sorry, Mr. Lally, but I gotta let
And
it
the
be?
second one was,
You actually said to them, I'm going to make your life miserable.
okay, all right, I'm going to allow it.
We're almost done.
Mayor,
We're at
Yes.
the
very
8-minute mark.
Lieutenant Lank, you indicated that you claimed in your description that you were assaulted by one of your brothers, correct?
Yes.
The fact is, they were never convicted of anything having to do with this case, the case that you're describing. Is that true?
Correct.
You also indicated that they made either a threatening comment to you or a disparaging comment to you about I don't give a fuck, correct?
Correct.
Is it true that what was actually said was you said to them, I don't know who you are, but I'm going to make your life miserable?
No.
All of this incident was in furtherance of you protecting a member of the Albert family when they asked for your help, correct?
No, it was me protecting someone who asked for my help who was clearly in fear.
Who happened to be an Albert.
Happened to be an Albert.
All right, you are all set.
Thank you.
Lieutenant, you're all set, sir. Let's try and get some testimony from one more witness.
Yeah.
And jurors, we will break right at 1, but let's see if we can get more testimony in, please. Who's your next witness?
The Commonwealth call Lieutenant Charles Ray.
Okay.
All right, that's it.
You could pause right there, Ms.
That was a lot today. I know. But I thank y'all for being troopers and hanging in there with me as we dissect these trial 1 sidebars. There are many more days left to go because we're only up to 5 and 6. So if you enjoyed this content and want us to continue on, please let me know and continue to check in with me on Saturday mornings where we will go live and discuss all things trials, upcoming trials, past trials, and as we're doing right now, dissecting sidebars, if you will, all the things that's happening behind the scenes in court. Thank y'all so much for joining me again on this beautiful Saturday. They said we were going to get more snow this weekend. Turns out we're not. So hopefully all that snow and ice will melt and I can get out of here finally. But thank you so much for joining me, sitting through almost 2 hours with me. So clap it up for yourselves. And remember, the world has never met another you. Go out and be great in it. Have an amazing weekend. Do all the things. Don't do anything that I wouldn't do. So that means do all the things. Have an